All right, so it's my job now just to say a few more words about why do we need a geological service for Europe, and what is that anyway? So I wanted to start with geology. What's geology? What's that? And unfortunately, as I mentioned already, not many people actually know what geology is or what geologists do. They know that geologists study rocks, which is true, but that's a very narrow view of what an understanding of what geologists do. And there are a number of reasons for that, but probably one of the main ones is that geology is not generally taught in most schools anymore in many countries in the world. It used to be taught much more commonly, but now it isn't. And so many people only end up with a reasonable knowledge of geology if they stumble across it at university, which is what I did and how I became a geologist and how a number of other geologists I know also discovered geology. And it's a bit of a problem for us when we're trying to emphasize that geological data and information and knowledge is actually crucial to the Green Deal, to our goals now more than ever. And why are they crucial? It's because geologists don't just study rocks, they study the earth. So there are a lot of geologists in the audience today, so I thought I might ask a few of them what they do. So let's start with maybe Klaus Hinsby from the Geological Survey of Denmark and Greenland. Klaus, what do you do?
Julie, well, I'm doing my best to contribute to improving our understanding of water resources, quantity and quality, to protect our drinking water resources. That was the primary reason for us for many years, but increasingly now also with the water framework and groundwater directives to protect nature and biodiversity. So I'm doing my best to do with it as co-chair of the Water Resources Expert Group in EuroGeoSurveys.
Thank you, Klaus. Maybe you could pass the microphone to Christina. Christina, what do you do?
From the German Geological Survey, which is BGR, the Federal Institute for Geosciences and Natural Resources. And what I do is, well, together with an international team, with several international teams, I compile and harmonize geological map information across political boundaries for the whole of Europe, on and offshore. And as a base for this, we are also in our groups compiling vocabularies as a sort of common language that the geology can be made understood across political boundaries and as a base for harmonization. This is what I do.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you.
All right, and maybe I'll ask one other person. Serge, there you are, yes. What do you do, Serge?
Yes, Serge van Gessel, TNO. As a geologist, I'm leading a team of international experts to understand the feasibility of hydrogen storage in the subsurface. And as an advisor, I'm helping, let's say, building bridges between scientists and the government to, let's say, understand and support decision-making and governance on how the subsurface can contribute to energy transition. Thank you.
Perfect, right. So it's very clear just from these three people that geologists do a wide range of different things. They study a lot more than rocks, and indeed the Earth is a lot more than just rocks. It's the water in the rocks under our feet, the groundwater that Klaus was talking about. It's the health of our soils that they study, the soils that we use to grow our food. It's the suitability of the subsurface for storing carbon dioxide, hydrogen fuel or energy, and much more. And so when it comes to the Green Deal, a knowledge of all of these things is crucial to achieving the goals of the Green Deal and reaching net zero by 2050. And what's also important is that it's not just feeding the data and information and knowledge about the subsurface through an open, user-focused knowledge infrastructure, which we are doing, but also understanding the relationships between all of these things and the processes that control them. Because although policy must necessarily define and categorise processes and activities so that legislation can be written to guide our actions and to guide our industries, the Earth cannot be neatly subdivided into categories. And once you look in more detail, of course, water and energy and minerals and subsurface pore space where we want to store things, fuel and energy and carbon dioxide, these all interact with each other in the subsurface. And in recent discussions within the EuroGeoSurveys network, one unifying wish of our experts is that they want to achieve more interaction between scientific thematic areas. They want to move away from siloed behaviours and activities and towards more integrated thinking about how to solve environmental and societal challenges that geologists must contribute to. And this is a development that I see as particularly positive, this wish to collaborate, which really defines the essence of EuroGeoSurveys, the Geological Surveys of Europe, and which is the association that is coordinating the Geological Service for Europe project. Collaboration has been at the heart of EuroGeoSurveys since it was established more than 50 years ago, and today I feel it's the case more than ever. This spirit of collaboration must extend beyond our geoscientific community to the EU institutions and society that we serve. Most European nations, indeed most nations, have a geological survey which informs and advises at national level on these many environmental and economic and societal challenges. But as long recognised through the collaboration in EuroGeoSurveys and through the establishment of the pan-European harmonised geological data infrastructure, serving the national level is not enough. Because the natural environment that we live in does not stop at national borders. Groundwater does not stop at national borders. The geological resources of one nation which can extend into another and can serve other nations, minerals, geoenergy, water. And just as communities collaborating can achieve much more than individuals, so too at continental scale we can achieve much more than we can at national scale. To address continental scale problems, we must act on continental scale, and to do so we must also think on continental scale and deliver data at that scale and deliver solutions at that scale. In terms of our natural environment, in terms of the earth that we live on and from which we draw the energy and minerals and water that drive our society, national borders are meaningless. And that is why we need a geological service for Europe. Because the Earth is an interconnected system of processes, and to develop and implement the best Green Deal policy, the geological knowledge of the many aspects of these interconnected processes, this interconnected system must be understood and effectively translated so that policymakers can deliver through sound, complementary science-informed policy the best possibilities for us to achieve net zero. Thank you.